To everyone that's come here today, thank you for standing together peacefully. We are here because we care about our communities, our families, and our future. We are here to ask that our voices are heard. The message is anonymous because, like many others, I'm afraid of speaking out. Not because I hate anyone, but because I worry that my concerns will be dismissed and misunderstood. For me, this is not just about physical safety. It's about what this situation has done to my mental health. I am anxious every day. I struggle to sleep at night. I have even started thinking about moving away from the place that I call home because I no longer feel safe or that I have a sense of security that I once did. Whether others agree with my feelings or not, they are real, and I know I am not the only person experiencing them. Many of us feel that the decisions affecting our lives have been made without listening to the people who already live here. We feel ignored and uncertainty grows. That uncertainty can become anxiety, stress, and fear. It affects our relationships, our work, our children, and our well-being. When you spend every day wondering how your community is changing, whether your concerns will ever be heard, whether your family will still feel safe, that takes a big toll. It drains you. It follows you to work, it follows you home, and it follows you to bed at night. We all deserve the peace of mind that allows us to sleep, the confidence to walk through our own neighbourhood without constantly questioning what tomorrow might bring. That feeling has been taken away from many of us, and the most painful part is feeling like nobody in power actually cares. To every woman here who has felt anxious walking alone, to every parent who worries about their children, to every man who wants to protect his family and community, and to everyone whose mental health has suffered because of the uncertainty surrounding these plans, I want you to know you're not on your own. Being concerned does not make somebody hateful. Wanting to feel safe does not make someone intolerant. Speaking about the impact of our mental health should never be ignored. Thank you.
My name's Ian Frier. I'm just a local resident, not a member of any political party. I've got no axis to grind apart from that one. I just wanted to get a few things off my chest. I am a moderator on the Civilised Citizens Against Barnham Camp site. Unlike the Thetford forums, we don't let anonymous people on the website. We don't let gerbils, giraffes, hamsters. If we don't know who they are, they don't come on the website. And we also don't let people on there who come from Southampton, Manchester, America, telling us how bad we are. So if you want to join a website where you can actually talk to people of Thetford, that's the one. One of the things that I got this week was on the Thetford forum is a woman who said, Thetford is full of rapists and paedophiles. That includes the women, and they live near schools. That was on the Thetford forum. And I think it was a person from Southampton. So my question is to the people who run the Thetford forums, if you moderators, moderate. Stop the stupidity and the hate that's appearing on there and getting everybody wound up. As you can tell, I've never spoken publicly before, but it was only after listening to, I wasn't here a couple of weeks ago, but I listened online to a speech, and that was real close to being far right, and that really made me angry. And I also read how angry others were at that speech. And I thought then, you've got two choices. You can do nothing, just accept what they said and be tarred with the same brush. And you're fine if you don't want to attend marches, or you're quite happy with that. Or you've got a second choice where you can come here and you can actually speak and speak up so you don't get tarred with that same brush, so that they can see that we are fair and reasonable people. We're not racist, we're not bigots, we're just concerned about our communities. Months ago, my wife and I drove down the London Road where they had all the Union Jacks and all the flags flying. And I've got to be honest, the smiles on our face was from ear to ear. It really filled us with happiness. And I've got to be honest, coming here today and seeing all the other flags as well from the other nationalities of people in our community who contribute to our community makes me just as happy, because that's what our community is. It's a mixture. And the mixture makes us stronger. And I also believe that we're better than that, and our communities are better than that. So if anybody wants to come along and wants to spread hatred, forget it. This isn't the place for you. If you don't like the flags that are here, don't come. You're not welcome. Another of my gripes is I've seen on the, again, mainly different Thetford forums saying that what's happening here is no different to what happened in the 60s and 70s with the Thetford overspill. We've got one thing in common. I come down here in 1973 with my wife. I'm a migrant. Technically, I'm a migrant. I come from London. I migrated down here. That's the only thing that anybody has got in common with the people who are going to occupy this camp. Another post on the Thetford forum said that the London overspill people were scum, rapists, burglars and thugs. I wonder if she can tell us what the 1,200 men in here are going to be, because she seems to have a lot of knowledge. My wife and I come here in 1973. To get here and to get a house or a place, you had to have a profession, a trade, a skill, something that was wanted in the town and to make the town a better place. I had to come down here. I had to attend a job interview. I had to produce my school qualifications, my work qualifications, a CV and references, so they could check up that I could actually do what I said I could do, and they knew everything about my history. These men who have been coming here, they got no jobs, they got no skills, they're no benefit to our community whatsoever. If they were doctors and nurses and healthcare professionals and teachers, they could apply for visas, they would be welcomed, because that's what we need. We don't need freeloaders, which is what we get. Before I retired, I was a project manager, and there were some projects where I had to be DBS checked because I was working on schools. I passed, thankfully. Any of these nice policemen could come over here, check all you people, and with 5-10 minutes, they'll know where you're from, what you do. They'll know everything about you. They wouldn't know a thing about these people here, not one single thing. As I said, I had to produce a load of documentation before I could move down here and get a job. Their documents are floated in the English Channel. The only thing the police will know about them is the day they arrived on our shores and anything they had told the police. So it might not be their real names, it might be the real country. They know nothing about them. The people who these flags represent are all contributing members of our community, and they're welcomed in our community. So I don't want anybody to say we're racist. Nobody. Now, these men are all unattached, single men, with no one to curb their actions or their excesses when they leave these gates. My next gripe, sooner or later, will probably be we'll have the left-wing renter crowd turn up here. Once this gets bigger and more well-known, the renter mob will come along. Yeah, I'll second that. I've mentioned earlier about forums. I do a little bit of posting myself on Facebook, and I lost count a number of times I've been called a racist or a Nazi. I've got to be honest, these words are completely meaningless. They mean nothing. They're used so often, they mean nothing. So if you want to call you a Nazi or racist, just ignore it. It's just word soup. If I could ask a question, what is racist? I'd love to be told, what is racist about objecting to 1,200 undocumented men who you know nothing about being shipped in to our community? Can't see it. It's irrelevant of what colour they are, what creed, or what country they come from. I'm not interested. It's not the point. It's 1,200 undocumented men we know nothing about, the police know nothing about, and they will be free to come and go, no restrictions, into our area. Some of the posts on Facebook that I've got from these left-wing, very nice people, I use the phrase undocumented men. That's all I used in one comment was undocumented men. Within minutes, I had one comment come back, and it's just 3 words: "You racist," and then it was a C word. I did actually reply to that, and I said, "Could you explain to me what's racist about those 2 words?" She come back with about 4 or 5 lines telling me what I really meant by those 2 words. I did go back to her and I said I was really amazed at her ability to decipher that from my 2 words. And could she tell me what's going to be the winner of the next Grand National, and is there life on Mars? She come back with 1 word. It was a C word. So at least I weren't a racist anymore, so that's a bonus. Another one said, "They hanged people like you." Now this was on the same thread. All I said was undocumented men. I might have said coming in on dinghies or something like that. And this one said, "They hanged people like you at Nuremberg." I did reply to that one as well. I said, "I know that I'm getting on a bit, but I'm sure I would have remembered if I'd been involved in murdering 6 million people." I didn't get a reply to that one. Quite possibly the person who made that comment and is calling us racists and I should be hung and all the rest of it, they're probably the same people who go out every other weekend with a Palestinian flag calling for the death of Jewish people. Yet they have the annoying thing to call us racist because we care about our community. One person said, "You white men rape women as well and commit crimes." I replied, "Yes. British people do commit crimes, but why do you want to increase the chances and the risk by allowing another 1,200 men into our community?" I also pointed out that British people are made up of people of all colours and creeds, and her comment about all white men is racist. She never come back. What a shame. This one was a killer for me. One person said, this is word for word for what they put, "These men have left worn, torn countries to come here to make a life so that they can then bring their wives and children to safety." That blew my mind. So they've left their wives and their children in amongst the bombs and the bullets and the rape and the torture, the beheadings, and gone for a jolly across Europe for 1 or 2 years, and then they're going to send for their wives and kids. What man here would leave their wives and kids like that? Unbelievable. But these idiot left-wing people, they believe it. This is when I realised that these people spout 2 ton of rubbish, and it's virtue signalling, as they call it. That's all it is. They're also hypocrites. If you remember rightly, there was a Green MP, and the Greens are all for the open borders and letting everybody in and all the rest of it. They love immigrants until they went to put a camp in her backyard. And that's when she said, "They're all welcome, and I'd love to have them here, but we haven't got the infrastructure." Barnham Camp has, I suppose. And there was the other group, an anti-racist group down in Oxfordshire at Bicester, where I think they're still proposing to put a camp. Now, these people are calling all us racist for being here. They have come out and said, "We love them, but we haven't got the infrastructure to care for them. But we're not racist. We'd love them to be here." Well, you can have ours if you want. I had posted this before. I posted that if this goes ahead, each and every one of us will have to think carefully of how we live our lives. How will parents feel about their children walking back and forth to school or going out in the evenings? How will women feel about going out alone? Now, my wife and I, we drive around Thetford. We're both old people, we're retired, and we see lots of single women walking around Thetford. Will women still be able to go walking their dogs on Barnham Common? Or walking by the river by Spring Walk or over Arlington by the river? This could be the last summer holidays of freedom for your children. How will people feel about going into town if there are large groups of men sitting around? I've seen pictures of from Crowborough about some of the people there, the immigrants there, sitting outside Lidl getting drunk. Now you multiply that, we've got 1,200 men, you're walking into town and they're sitting around. I'm not saying they're doing anything wrong, but how uncomfortable are you going to feel? And do you then want to go into town? You've got to change your lives. My wife and I took our grandkids swimming last week. Again, in there was a load of young mothers with their babies. How would they feel if there's a load of immigrants in there watching them, or in the changing rooms? How would they feel, or how would any of you feel if you go to a gym and these immigrants get gym passes, which a lot of them do from the councils, to use the local facilities? Doesn't bear thinking. And the thing is, these men won't be in there, they'll be bored. They won't be in there doing jigsaws and playing Hungry Hippo and all the rest of it. They'll be coming out their gates, and the government and these people cannot stop them leaving this camp. They can put a time on them being back, say 11 o'clock, but they are free to come and go. They can walk in the town. Oh no, we'll be paying for them to go into Bury or into town or wherever they want to go. The Home Secretary, Mahmood, I think that's her name, she came out a while back and said that these migrant camps should not be placed anywhere near schools. Well, I don't know how far the school is that way and the school's that way. Is she implying that these immigrants are a danger to our children by saying that? That's the only way I can read that. Yet she still wants to put it here. Terry Jeremy. He replied to an email I sent him. He doesn't reply to many of them anymore. I don't know why. This is what he actually said. I have opposed the use of Barnham Camp to house asylum seekers. Well, we call them illegal immigrants. If a burglar breaks into your house, he's a burglar. He doesn't suddenly become a squatter. He's a burglar. If an illegal immigrant comes into this country illegally, he's an illegal immigrant. Asylum seeker and all that crap, forget it. He went on, and these are his exact words. It would be essential that there were robust and properly funded arrangements in place for healthcare, policing, security, and other local services. He doesn't say whose healthcare or our other local services cannot support the population as it is. So he should be pushing for that for us anyway, regardless of that. He's our MP. Also, by saying we need extra police and security, is he admitting that these men could be carrying out antisocial actions and crimes? Otherwise, why do you need the extra police? I posted about this earlier, and someone replied to my post asking what more can Jeremy do? But Jeremy's saying that we need extra police, and with Mahmood saying they shouldn't be near schools. Why are they saying then, put them here? I can't get my head around it. But it's all lip service, because this, I believe, is a done deal. And we need more people here to show that we're not happy with it. What more could Jeremy do? Sending a letter to the Home Secretary saying, now I might be doing him a disservice, he might have done other things, I don't know. Opposing the camp and starting a paper petition 2 weeks after local residents had already started 2 online petitions. That's not doing an awful lot as far as I'm concerned. That's rubbish. I believe he could do an awful lot more. He was elected to represent our communities, not just toe the party line, which unfortunately has a tendency to do. Plenty of other MPs have been on picket lines, or they've been on marches. You've seen them on the telly. They're supporting their local people. You see them doing it. Why doesn't he do it? He is our local MP, and they're the same for the one who's in Bury St Edmunds. It'd be nice, and I say to him, how about coming down here and standing here on this platform? He'll be safe. There's a nice, good-looking policeman over there. I'm sure he'll be safe. He'll love it. And if he could get the TV, if he says he's coming here and he can get the TV channels down here to film it, make a noise, make this happen. He has the power to do that. He has a power we haven't got. Come here, make it public. It would also be good if he come here, gave a speech, and said to the government directly from here, I oppose this, we oppose it, and then say all the reasons why we oppose it, because there's 101 reasons why it's wrong for this to be here. If he ever does come, if he ever grows a pair, and he does come, yeah, be polite. The worst thing in the world to any politician who comes here, whether they're councillors or whatever, is to shout them, abuse them, or be threatening. Be polite. Otherwise, you're doing yourselves no good. You're doing our cause no good. And if you do, and if he does take questions, make sure the questions are respectful, not screamed at him. But if he doesn't give an answer, keep asking the questions until you do get an answer. But the one big question we should be asking our MPs, Jeremy and the other one, shouldn't your constituents' way of life, our community's way of life, and our human rights come first? Thank you.